All right, what's happening, guys? This is Logan with West Desert Wheeler. We're out here with my WDW Capra, which means this guy has my WDW Capra Micro winch mount in the nose of the car. I have it set up today as a suck down winch to control the front suspension droop and be able to collapse the front suspension if I want. Helps control like leaning the car, picking up the back left tire, maybe floating a tire onto an obstacle, stuff like that, getting on a vertical climb, holding the nose down. Lots of awesome, cool things you can do with it to play with your suspension pressures. I've also got some fresh cut and shut trepidors on these brand new Spec RC 2.2 wheels, and I've got soft squid inserts installed in them. I special ordered those from SL3D RC, so shoot SL3D a message if you've got a lighter rig that you want to experiment a little bit with the inserts, and they will get you set up. Here is our ride for the day. Again, brand new Spec RC wheels. The ring hardware is from Locked Up RC. The rings are from Spec RC. These wheels are made by Spec RC. And then it's got Vanquish hubs and Vanquish scale hardware on the middle. So really great looking combo, nice and shiny, not even dusty yet. Again, got those cut and shut trepidors that I sell as well. We've got the Reefs 99 micro servo winch in there. Got the clear hood so you can see it work. And if I run the winch, you can see it through the hood as well. I've got a brand new Flysky GT5 controller. I've been running my same Flysky for 4 years. All of the content on my channel you've ever seen, 99% of it has been with my Flysky GT5. And it's just got a lot of miles on it. It was beat up. It was time for a new one. My new one is shiny on top. My old one looks like the rest of this plastic. Like it's just been so beat up over the years. These things have been awesome. Highly recommended, and I will have a link to Amazon below where you can buy one. They're like 70 bucks that come with the receiver. The receivers are inexpensive to get additional ones, and I've got like 10 models set up on each of my controllers. So I can't, recommend these enough. For rear steer, I control it with the knob on top of the radio right there, and that's how I drive my rear steer rigs. This truck's drag axle, let's go drive on the rocks and see how she does today. All right, here we go, guys. I forgot I don't have the steering extension set up on my new controller here. May end up with the front flip pulled out of it. I think it would have settled actually, but off to a good start so far. Don't mind the dog running around. That's my buddy Sydney. She's my trail dog, and she loves to go around, run around on the rocks, have a good time out here crawling with me. If you're new to the channel, you may have not seen Sydney yet, but if you've been subscribed for a little while, she's appeared in lots of videos. And most people subscribe because of the dog and not even me. Okay, looking for some traction here. Again, these are the softer inserts from SL3D RC, so I'm hoping to get a little more compliance out of the tires. I keep getting questions because I custom manufacture cut and shut tires for these cars. I think they look fantastic on Capras. It turns a 1.9 tire into a 2.2 tire and makes them slightly taller, but the same width. But the reason I'm saying all that is a lot of people have been asking me if I like the crawler or if I like the trepidor. And so far my experience has been the crawler gets better traction on a flat surface, and the trepidor gets better traction when using the shoulder of the tire. This car has a 3-gear transmission and a Fusion Pro in it, so it does not have much wheel speed. It's got lots and lots of gear reduction. See, those trepidors just, they hop and they don't bite on the flat surfaces. There we go, finally got the right hop. Now we can start making some moves. I am new to this area. This is a trail out here. There's 2 trails right in this spot in Sand Hollow. The one I know it from is from Trail Breaker, and it is the Red Dot Trail. So that was actually the first trail breaker I ever went and watched when I moved down to southern Utah. The other trail that is newer and is probably a lot more traveled is Risky Biz. So we're near the entrance of that. If you know the area and you know what I'm talking about, that's where we're at. But just came out here today, try something new, find some new lines, explore a bit. Maybe we'll find some magic secret obstacle that is just my absolute favorite that I just didn't know about. Or maybe we don't. Either way, we're driving RC cars, we're gonna have a good time. So right here, the car's fully flexed out, front end's all flexed, the rear end's flexed out. If I use my front winch, we should be able to lift that left rear tire. Let's try this. Okay, it did the opposite of what we were doing there. So we got our back tire a little too dug in. So let's let it out, let the car flex, back that tire back on top of the ledge. Yeah, we repositioned ourselves to not have this work now. I was gonna try and take a little bit of the bind off that left rear, but now we're in trouble because I had to be cool and try and show off my winch. So yeah, before this left rear tire hits the wall, now let's pull on the suspension. Again, not working in our favor. That's all right, just let it back out. Apparently I need a heavier front end to do that. So the car was still on too much of an upward angle and it liked to lift the front tire instead of the rear tire. Man, these wheels, I haven't even run these yet. These are brand new to me. All shiny and pretty. They look good on here. I do like the look of the Trepador on the buggy. Got the scale wheels. This thing's looking awesome. Let's go try and climb up a pretty good sized rock formation, see if we can find a line to the top. All right, here we go. This rock is quite a bit colder to the touch, sitting in the shade like this, so I've never like scientifically figured out if the cold rock or the hot rock has more traction. I've heard it both ways. I've got friends that believe hot rocks lose traction out here. Got lots of overdrive in this car, helping maneuver that front end around. This car's got about 30% wild overdrive portal gears in the front end. That's where I get my overdrive from. And it's got an Axial 3-gear transmission. It's actually the plastic case Axial. And it's the SCX10 transmission or the SMT transmission. So you could put a Vanquish dig unit on this transmission, which is why I've held on to it, but I've never actually got the dig for it. I'm a little concerned where this is going. That's why. So I find it quite interesting. When I first got an Axial Capra, they only made the drag axle, which is this car. Then they came out with the four-wheel, well, I guess I should say, then I converted it to a four-wheel steer car. And then they released the four-wheel steer Capra. And now I have a drag axle Capra that's no longer made. So like I have this legacy Capra, I guess you could call it. And I really, really like driving it. Drag axle, it's a lot of fun. And it just reminds me why I like the Capra so much. Unless that rear magically starts pulling. Nope. All right, say we magically made it to here. Could we even keep going after this? Because the next obstacle looks even more questionable than that one does. And it's high risk, but I want to find out. But I just find it interesting. I was always like dead set on rear steer, and now that the drag axle isn't available, I'm like, hey, the drag axle is really fun. Do you guys still have a drag axle Capra? And do you enjoy driving it? Because I'm fortunate that I have multiple RCs and I've got a rear steer Capra. So I kind of have the best of both worlds, right? And this car is fun because I like to swap wheels and tires on it. It can pull off a 1.9 tire and wheel. It can pull off a 2.2 if I want. This isn't even the hard part. Let's drive to this corner, get the rear up on the ledge. Oh dear. Oh, losing traction. There it is, finally got the bite. Trepador's making it happen on that one. Oh, this is the high risk. And it's a good size drop, so you don't want to fall. Now with the cut and shut crawler, they start as 4.75 inch tall 1.9s. A Trepador is 4.9 inch tall as a 1.9. So by the time you add more tire to a taller tire, the finished product is a taller tire. So the crawlers are 5.25 and the trepidors are 5.4. So in my opinion, this Capra is still running the completely stock wheelbase. I haven't stretched it with rod ends or anything like that. The Traxxas 5525 rod ends, that's how you stretch a Capra with the links, very cheaply. But with the stock 12.8 wheelbase, I think is what these are, I think a 5.4 is a little tall on there. It's a little balloony looking, we're getting there. Luckily it's still a narrow tire. Oh, good pull, Capra. I think we're gonna take a corrective line here though. Yeah, there we go. So this is like right on the border of looking a little big in my opinion, but that's just me, you know? But I definitely wanted to try these tires on this car with the new inserts from SL3DRC, the squid inserts. You can find inserts for my cut and shuts on their website under WDW cut and shut. Squid inserts. Nice little side hill U-turn there. And then this ledge we're gonna drop down into, I don't know if the car is narrow enough to fit on the ledge, so we may have to stay in a bit of a side hill through the bottom. It probably would fit. Just barely. Yeah. Keep it on the rocks as long as possible. Yeah, how about this? We'll try and side hill through here. Turning uphill on that side hill puts a lot of the pressure on the sidewall of these trepidors, and again, that's their strength. I think they have really good sidewall traction in like cracks, or you're coming over the top of a ledge and able to use the sidewall to turn and pull the car with. I think these tires give really good traction that way. Found a pretty rad climb over here, so we're gonna do some descending on some slick, loose rocks. Always tricky. I need to get my rears moved. Oh dear. Bite tires, pull up. Backing up uphill, not as easy as it sounds. There we go. Now we're in a much better position to drop. Got the rear tires balanced now. Be ready to throttle out on the downhills, man. Keep the car upright. Nice and light, but stayed pretty stable and planted. So something Desert RC brought to my attention is when going downhill, having your links set up correctly in the front is just as important as setting them up correctly in the rear. You want anti-squat in the front, so when you're coming downhill, it puts the pressure of the suspension on the car to hold the rear end down. And then there comes the dog. Hello, Sydney. And then this rock face right here, because we're on such an angle going downhill, it looks like it's like a 90-degree climb. And then it just should pull right up this. I mean, didn't even slip the tire, but just funny the way it looks in person versus how easily it climbs it. All right, I'm pretty excited about this series of obstacles. This should be a fun few obstacles. Although, we're starting out with a very challenging one. Big overhang to try and get that front to bite and pull up on. Trying to get the angle just right to get the top edge of the tire to come through. So maybe we'll just dip it under, just squeeze through. We can turn it back down. Hey, that was working. Real worried about the rear though. Okay, the rear's completely under the ledge, so let's take a big reverse, see if we can get the rear to bite coming up. Now this is where the overdrive can really help. because it's outrunning the rears. So it's just pulling that front end down and down and down as that rear tire slowly spins. That was almost it. It's got it, Capra, come on. Come on, this can work, man. I think I remember playing on this before, but I also had rear steer to help me. I just need that front end to bite and pull over. Well, for shit, dudes, I probably cut out a bunch of footage. I battled that one for a minute and didn't get anywhere. So we're taking a bypass. We're gonna drop back in at the top and working our way around that one. That sucks. That's a cool obstacle. Just need a little bit of rear steer and I think we'd cruise through that. Because I can get so close, but because it's drag axle, I can't get that pinch to push straight and get the pinch right. The sidewall kept washing in. But here we're trying to get straddled on a V-notch that is an off-camber steep climb. Let's pull the front end down, keep it settled. That right rear just wants to pivot us. Maybe we just let it pivot us. There we go. Oh, quit unloading on me. Maybe I need to let the suspension work more. Okay, well, we're not doing it as a V-notch then. We're just gonna use the portal clearance. Still a cool pull. We can get balanced up here if we want. Yeah, I like how that worked. Oh, there it is. All right, finally, we get to the last obstacle that I really, really wanted to get to. And truthfully, this doesn't look that bad. We'll see how the traction is in here. I'm thinking we're just gonna get high on the right side and the front end's gonna pull us up and out. Sydney coming over to check in on us. Get that, oh. Trying to get that front left to drop in, get the weight down, and I figured it'd pull us out. Let's grab a different view. There we go, hoping that overdrive saves us. There it is, could be. Love these fusions and their slow silence control. Very torquey too. The Outrunners are crazy good at low speed control, but they don't have the torque and the FOC that these do. At least the size Outrunners that I have. I've got the shorter ones. This car's acting like it wants to go up out the passenger side. It seems so close. This thing is battling me on every obstacle. This is a good set of lines. The WDW Capra, definitely not the most capable car in my fleet. It's good, it does well, but there are limitations in the Capra platform. And this one not having dig or rear steer, we're kind of limiting ourselves. We got some big tires on it. Got the winch. So I guess, can we get the hook? No, it's too steep for it. Need to see the rears. Let's get both right sides up. We're gonna get real tippy on our entrance here. Our front end should pull us up and out and save us. The rear will be up on the ledge at this point. Let's get the front left through the crack. Got it. Rear's set up where we want. Pull that front end down. That left rear is just right in the bottom of the crack. And then that right rear is climbing a ledge. Nasty obstacle, man. This is cool. Trying to get the rears through there as high up as possible. It's just going to slip to the bottom again. Oh, 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 come on, girl. Come on. Come on. There it is. I almost didn't record that attempt. And as I was starting to do it, I was like, okay, I will definitely make it if I don't record it. All right. We made it. I've been making videos too long to know that you never do something off camera that you've been struggling on, because that's guaranteed the one time you will make it, and then you won't be able to reproduce it on camera again. I've also found something, and this might just be like psychological. There's been obstacles that I've struggled on, and then finally I'll figure them out, and then it'll just like seem easy. And it's not even that I like really know the line yet for the second or third time. It's just knowing that it is possible somehow makes it seem easier. Oh, I was really hoping to get a bite on that ledge and turn down and pull the car up. Gotta get a reset. We're gonna fall off the ledge. Okay, we're gonna try and get our rears positioned a little higher up. So I'm gonna drive in on an angle to get them rears close to the wall. All right, tire bit and pulled up. Just trying to scrub that tire along the wall. I can't reach it. Damn. I'm dropping in from this angle to help me get my tires on the wall. If I were to drive straight in at this, it'd be harder to get the rear in position. Now I might roll over because of what I'm doing. Front winch, pull the front end, level the car out. Yep, worked like perfect. Now we can let the front out. Don't let those rears fall. Maybe we got a little aggressive on that entrance, a little less angle. Maybe not turn quite as sharp on our entrance here. Pull the car level. Keeping that front winch tight will just make the chassis match the level of the front axle. Right there, we actually want to let it out because the front axle is getting steeper than we want the chassis. Now we want to pull it in and make it follow the front axle again. Ooh, it's touchy, it's close. Overdrive, keeping the front of the car stretched and planted. No! Dang, that's close. Okay, was I completely wrong in the entrance the whole time? Driving in almost straight, because you need the rear high on the wall, otherwise it falls. Well, friends, we're pretty near the end of this. I want to get you over to the last formation. It's just one of the weirdest formations in Sand Hollow. I don't really understand it, so I want to show it to you guys and see what you think. Oh. Another situation where we need to get that rear end in there a little higher. Lots of articulation on this Capra. At certain times it really helps, and I think a line like that, it really helps. So now we're going to intentionally dip that left rear a little more level. Nice. Okay guys, here we are, final obstacle for the video. I hope you enjoyed hanging out here with the WDW Capra. Dropping in, again, it's just a weird formation. I don't understand how this exists out here. So we're gonna go drive through it. This is like a perfectly rectangle tunnel. And somehow it eroded out. Just make this little subway system. Cruise right through, it's nothing challenging. But what a weird shape and formation out here. I don't get this at all. There's nothing else out here that I've found like this. There's lots of like round tunnels and stuff and arches, but nothing this long and definitely nothing this square. Just very odd. So there you go, there's your little Easter egg in this video. Strange, it's cool. Sydney enjoys it. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me out here on the trail today with the WDW Micro Winch Servo Mount Capra. A lot of little words in there. Should probably be better at naming things, but it's pretty specific. So thank you guys very much. You can check out westdesertwheeler.com if you want to pick one of those up for your Capra. I also make a 3-link chassis mounted servo bracket for Capras, and I make cut and shuts that work excellent on Capra axle based rigs, larger rigs, whatever you want to put them on. But I really like them on Capras. So, big Capra guy here. There are links down below. Hope you guys will hit them and see where they lead you. We'll see you guys in the next one. Keep the rubber side down.